Hey everybody, Brian here from Fitzpatrick's. In this video I want to show you around this car here. 2019, this is a Honda Jazz and this is what's called an Executive and it's an automatic. If there's any information that you want on this particular car, call, text, WhatsApp 086 843 1945 and I'll be happy to go through information on the car or trading in your car or finance or whatever you'd like to know. As usual, it's really windy, so I'll show you around the car on the outside real quick. I'm going to show you the inside real quick, and then what we'll do is have a quick look at the cabin. I'll go for a drive at the end, and hopefully by the end of the video you'll have a better idea of what this car is all about. Let's start off in the front. Things I like about these cars. Right, so this is an Executive, right, which is the highest spec. So you always know an Executive because see the way the parking light, their daytime running light, it comes down and mimics the grille, and it's an LED. And what's also nice on these is that they also get an LED headlight, which is pretty nice. Looks really upmarket, I think, really smart looking, but obviously gives you excellent light as well. Down here then, front fog lights will be standard. I quite like on a silver one these, I think it looks really well, where the bumper gets a little bit more aggressive on the front and looks a little bit lower than a normal version. Nice grille as well here. I just like the way this comes down all the way down along here. Little details, quite nice. Two pieces of chrome either side of the grille, and like what we're saying then over here then, that just slightly more aggressive look on the grille. If you look at say things like these wheels, see the way they're shiny and reflective, so they're a nice diamond cut finish. And the Executive one of these then does get privacy glass, so tinted windows on the rear, which are quite nice. And actually one thing about Jazzes, there's no chrome anywhere on them, so I don't know, I'm kind of a bit of a fan of no chrome. Sometimes I like chrome and sometimes I don't, but on these I think it looks better without it anyway. Well, they don't have it. Another black section along here, black little sections along here, and again, little designs in the back bumper, which just make it look nice. In here, they are little LEDs for the taillights. And like the front of the car, then there is parking sensors on the rear. That's not the front of the car, that is. Okay, so the boot in one of these, it's keyless entry, so I don't actually need I can just walk up to the car and it unlocks. One neat thing about this one is it has a spare wheel. They don't normally come with a spare wheel. The previous owner would have actually requested that. And another thing about this car, I haven't cleaned it yet. This is exactly how it came in. So the previous owners, super tidy, really well looked after car, little light up through here. And you know, I think a reasonable sized boot for that class of car, but really the rear seats and their absolute flexibility is where this car is just awesome compared to other cars in this segment. So what I can do is, if I got something awkward, if it's in the IKEA thing, or whatever it is, you've got a massive, like this is the smaller end of the market. That's a massive load area for that size of car. But some of the coolest things are actually in the way the seats work in the back. So 3 head restraints, 3 3-point safety belts, Isofix over here, Isofix over there. One thing I would say to you, right, if you put a child seat in one of them, there's such a large amount of area from here to here. Children actually have loads of space. For some cars you do that with, and actually be surprised the back seat is kind of on top, or the front seat's on top of the child's legs, but not in these. Child locks here, electrics for windows in through there, nice brushed aluminium because it's an Executive, and then these little skid plates just for getting in and out. The previous owner had specified them when they bought it. Right, so the seats, if I sit in the back, okay, I can recline the seat a little bit. It's only a small bit, makes a big difference when you're sitting in a car like this. Okay, sitting behind myself. So if I look in the front of the car, right, like, do I look, I have loads of room. This is a 6-foot person, how they sit in the car. These things are just weird when it comes to it. They always have been, they always will be. And it's only when you have kids and child seats to realise how little space is in so many cars. Look at the amount of leg, it is absolutely odd, the amount of legroom that's in these cars. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But there's a serious amount of room. So in this size of car, and I can see why some of these people buy these Jap imports and all that stuff, they mightn't be, some of them are kind of odd and ugly looking, I suppose. But the pragmatism that's in them just for how people fit in car in a comfortable way is just unbelievable. Something really that Korean and European manufacturers I don't think really do very well compared to the likes of Honda and stuff like that. Like, you look at the angle the rear doors open at, it's so accessible getting in and out. And there's one very cool feature in the front passenger seat, which I know nobody ever does, but look at it. The passenger seat can become oh my god, I can't talk. The passenger seat can become a relaxation seat. So what you do is bring that forwards, like so. Then I would take the headrest out, just click that there and pull all the way and it's gone. And then what you want to do is push that seat downwards. So you lift that up like that. I'm going to use my elbow to drop it all the way. And while you're lifting that lever then, you're literally pushing this down. There's a little bit of a squeeze here where it just meets the back seat, but you can push it all the way down. And then you take your shoes off. Well, you don't have to, but I would. And I've got different colour socks on. Anyway. How comfortable is that? That is a passenger relaxation seat, which I think is awesome in one of these. Like, if you were sitting outside a ferry terminal or something like that, you're going to be sitting here for an hour, why would you just sit upright in the front? This is class. And then to get it back up, you just lift that. Oh, actually, you need 2 hands. So you just lift that and you pull that. And eventually then that frees back up It'll fall forward and then you can just push it back into place, pop your headrest back on, and that's it. Pretty cool, right? So the other thing that they do as well is the magic seats, so you can have this tall mode without upsetting the boot, so you can leave the stuff in the boot and then you can put tall things in the car as well. Like, if you're familiar with these cars, fair enough, you'll know the crack and all this kind of stuff. But if you're not, and this is the first time you've looked at one of these, look at the ways you can move around the inside of the car and go compare to other cars. Like, they really are just a surprising car when it comes to that stuff. Right, passenger seat is height adjustable. That is anti-whiplash tread restraint, so you can bring it towards you to stop your head going backwards in the event of an accident to reduce whiplash. The other thing is the passenger seat is also height adjustable on these executive models. Very, very few cars, never mind small cars, very few cars seem to have passenger seat height adjustment these days. The keys then, if you open the car, the headlights will come on. But if I leave the key in my pocket, and if I walk up to the car, I can lock and unlock the car using this button here. Apologies about the wind noise. Lock. Or again, I could just put my hand in and it unlocks. And then when I get into the car, I start. Before we go for a drive, let's have a quick look around the cabin. So this over here is heating controls. So it's digital touchscreen, temperature you want, fan speed, and then things like front and rear windscreen demisters, and they also demist the wing mirrors over there. Down through there is HDMI if you want to play video up on the screen, USB 12 volt outlet, storage, drinks holders, gear stick, which we'll have a look at, but basically park, reverse, which comes with a camera, and it actually comes with front and rear park sensors as well, and then different modes for driving, which I'll show you while we're driving the car. A small bit more storage, and also then there is another USB connector, another 12 volt outlet, and armrest in through there. Over through here, these are electrics for windows and for mirrors. Mirrors are folding if you want. Parking sensors we talked about. Lane departure warning. The nice thing about these lane departure warnings is they are not that intrusive. They beep and warn you if you've drifted out of the lane, but they don't torque the steering left and right, which a lot of people, some people like. I don't personally, but so it's more straightforward. Set up paddles, which we'll have a look at when we're driving. This is cruise control with the speed limiter, so I can have a speed limiter, but I can also have a speed limiter which respects speed signs. So when it spots a speed sign, it'll actually warn you that you're exceeding the speed limit, which is pretty cool. Over here then, average speed and fuel efficiency, trip computer, all that kind of stuff is down through there. Bluetooth controls are in through here, and then these are controls for just using the radio, but allowing you to kind of keep your eyes on the road while you're driving. And just before we literally go driving, which we are going to in a sec, touch and swipe, audio, phone, usual settings, like what we saw, reverse camera, but you know, pretty straightforward and easy to use. Push button start. So we'll get going for a drive. Lights, by the way, are automatic, i.e. they come on at night time, and they also come on, they also dip when they meet traffic. And over here then, these are automatic wipers, which means they'll come on when it starts raining as well. I will say one thing, these are super reliable cars, really reliable. So this is a CVT gearbox. Some people get a bit kind of confused about how all that works. So essentially I'm in a drive mode and it's nice and comfortable, but they're really fuel efficient, and the reason is the engine revolutions take over really low on these. So if you see, if I'm driving here, the car's barely taken over, so it only actually puts power down when you actually require it, so it makes it more efficient than a manual counterpart. And we can leave this automatic drive mode and move back into this sport mode, and what happens is you'll see the engine revolutions when I go from, so we're in drive. If I go back into sport, S, you see the way they prime? So now it's much more ready to overtake. You have extra power when you're in a higher rev band. It's also got this little prompt over here, so you can see in here, this turns from green to blue. Blue when you're driving uneconomically, or green when you're driving economically. So it's just a visual aid to keep you driving efficiently. And then there's also paddles on the steering wheel. So left paddle here, there's not really gears on it. It's kind of mimicking going down gears, and then up on the right hand side, that'll be to go up through gears. So it's more engaging, more fun, and if you're an idiot like me, you just like engaging with the car, driving it. But most people will buy this and leave it in automatic. Anyway, hopefully the video's given you a better idea what this lovely executive model Jazz is all about. If there's any information you want on the car, please do give us a call, 086 843 1945, or text or WhatsApp if you want information about trading in a car or financing or anything you'd like to know about this car here. It will be supplied serviced with a 12-month warranty. So hopefully the video is useful, hopefully the car is of interest, and thanks a million for watching.